Hi there. I wanted to talk to you today about the Fix-It Grammar Program from IEW, the Institute of Excellence in Writing. I work with a lot of homeschool families and have seen more and more families that I think are great use it. And so when I started seeing more people use it, I was like, man, I gotta check this out. Here it is. This is their first book, and I am blown away. I love this program. It is working so well for us, and so I'm really excited about it because lots of people ask, what do we do for grammar? And this is it. This is what you do for grammar with your kids. It's fabulous. I think around grade 4 is a good time to start it. If your kids are older, you can definitely jump into the program. That's no problem. But I would say about grade 4 is where I'm planning on starting it with my son, just because you really want their reading ability to be super strong and confident because of all the elements of things that it includes, which I'm going to go into. So the first thing that I wanted to say is this is the teacher manual, which I purchased from IEW.com. And when you purchase the teacher's manual, which is only $19, steal of a deal, when you purchase this, you get the student pages as a free PDF download. So that is incredible because you can print it off and use it for all your kids and you don't have to purchase a new one. You definitely need the teacher's manual. I know for some things in life you don't, but for this program, you absolutely have to have it, and you'll be glad you do. So purchase the teacher's manual and then print out the pages and put them in a binder for your student to do and save yourself some money in shipping and all that. And you can use it for as many kids as you have. So I think that's really nice. I like how IEW tries to make their products accessible and inexpensive. So that's really good. So this is book 1, and like I said, you could start it maybe as young as grade 3. My daughter was 10 when we started it. And we had done daily grams before that. So it's not like she'd never ever done grammar. She was, doing fairly well, but I felt like we needed something with a bit more explanation and a way to keep practicing the skills. And so I decided to go ahead and for each book, when you go to the IEW website, they have a place, if you click on samples, there is a placement test, so you can kind of look at what they think your child should know going into the program. I have a daughter who is a perfectionist and likes to do things really, really well. That's important to her, and that's a great trait. But I think for our purposes, it's better to start a little easier than it was to put her in, a book, the second or third one, which she maybe could have done, but definitely would have been harder. So for us, we just started with book 1, but we have been flying through it. The way that the program is set up is really nice. It's set up for 4 days a week, no more than 15 minutes a day. And so you would, you have your parent book, and then these are the pages that I printed off for her. So it's just a two-page spread for the whole week, which is great. And on this side, they have whatever the new skill that they're learning for that week. So, generally each week they learn a new skill, and then, the odd week they have time to just keep practicing and reinforcing. So most weeks though, you have a new skill and they give you, just a little explanation, and then they tell you what they want you to do that week. Really, this is the new part that's relevant. This is pretty much the same each week. And then each day, they are supposed to just do a sentence a day, 4 days a week. And so what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to read the sentence and mark the parts of speech that they've learned up to that point. They work on homophones, so using, the right to, do you use 2, which is the correct one. So they mark that. They do capitalization, punctuation, but it all builds. It starts off with just one thing and builds, which is why I think it is nice to start with the first book, because then you're just starting right from the beginning. And if you have an older kid, they can probably work through it really quickly. What we ended up doing, because this was all very much review, is we did a whole week in a day. So we just did a week a day. Don't do that with your younger kids. That's not nice. But because she's older and this was just basically a review, that was no problem for us. So we would do all of this in a day, and we've only done this now for, I don't know, a few weeks, and we're halfway through the book. So we're flying through it, but I'm still really pleased with the decision that we made to start right at the beginning of the program, because I think it's giving her the foundation of the program, and it's going to make her so much more successful going into the subsequent books that follow. So anyways, I regress. Back to how you're supposed to do it. So anyway, so you're supposed to do one sentence a day, and then in your teacher manual, it gives you all the things that they're supposed to mark. So, you know, here you can see they were supposed to indent. They learned the proper times to indent. They've got their article, adjective, noun, verb, and which one to use. At this point, they've also been, you know, using contractions, so that's built in there as well. And then it gives you don't have to read this. If they got it all, like I said, my daughter has been flying through this, so for the most part, she's getting it and we just move on. But if there's something that's a little bit tricky, they give you why that is. Why is that a verb? Or, you know, why do you need to indent there? And so forth. And they'll even give you, you know, kind of a grammar lovers thing. So I kind of like that. I enjoy reading that, but I don't typically go into that much detail with her. So if you're doing it in the manner in which you're supposed to, you know, they just mark that one sentence a day, and then they mark it in the pages that you've printed out for them. And then on a separate sheet of paper, which could either be, you know, just notebook paper in a binder or in a little notebook, they are to recopy the sentence, the corrected sentence. So they're not supposed to recopy the noun, verb, all that stuff, but they're supposed to copy the corrected sentence with the proper punctuation and so forth. So I really like that, because I think copy work is powerful. Now, for us, because we've been doing a whole week in a day, I've just had her type the whole week at the end of it. And then we've got a little bit of typing practice in there too, and that's worked really well. But when I start this with my son in grade 4, one sentence a day will be perfect. So they mark it, they copy it, and then also, which is great, is you'll notice that they have words in bold for each day. And those are words that they are supposed to look up and define. So they look it up in the dictionary, and they are supposed to define it just very briefly. And so, for example, like despair was the one for that day. And in the teacher's manual, it tells you despair, give up hope. So that's nice, just reference for you. But I really like that they incorporate looking it up in the dictionary and then writing just a short definition, not a long one, but a short definition of what the meaning of the word was. Because we're flying through it, we're just kind of discussing the meaning of any words that she doesn't know. But I think it's a great way to practice dictionary skills as you go through the program, you know, if you're doing it as it's set up to do. The last thing that I love, oh my goodness, I love this, is it comes with, you can print out or it comes at the back of the student book, is these cards. And I went ahead, I have a laminator, so I printed and laminated them for him. So each week that they learn a new concept, then you get a card. And I don't use them as flashcards like I would for multiplication tables or something, but really think of them as a reference for the kids. My daughter just, you know, keeps them all in order, and it is a reference for if she forgets something, she can look back at. So, for example, you know, if they just learned about when to indent a new paragraph, that's the front, and that's the back. And she can use that for a point of reference when they learned about helping verbs. That was a card she pulled out a few times just to make sure that, you know, that she was getting those right, and that was nice. So anyways, I think the cards are, yes. So here's like the helping verb one. So helping verbs, and then it tells you what they are. So it's really nice. The other thing that I didn't point out was for each week, the things that they have learned and they're supposed to do, so they don't forget what they're supposed to do, are right here at the top of the page. So your child isn't going to forget, theoretically, what it is they're supposed to do, because all the things that they've learned. So at the beginning, obviously there's only one or two things, and by the end, let me see if I can find you one here at the end. Yes, here's one of the last ones. I think there's 33 weeks. So at the end, you can see that they are marking a lot of stuff. It's really impressive, but because they're building, you know, week by week, one thing at a time, she hasn't found it overwhelming at all. And I've been really impressed how much it's helped these concepts stick, you know, for the parts of speech and the little rules, and just, you know, doing it a little at a time is great. So once we fly through this book, then we will slow down, and for the next book, we will do as the program is meant to be, you know, just the one section a day. And I like that it's only 4 days, because we normally school 4 days a week anyways. If you are wanting a grammar program or have been on the fence about what to get, hands down, get Fix It Grammar. I think it's fantastic, and I really like that they've got a lot of things that they're working on, but they do it in a super short amount of time. So yeah, go ahead and get that, and I don't think you will be sorry. Bye-bye.